Welcome back. We are still here discussing, just having a regular conversation in my home. I wanted to have drinks and talk to some favorite people that I have around. And my question was, we see so many, controversies with presidents. We see so much controversies with billionaires, with stars. Anyone who is sitting up in a high chair, they get flashes thrown at them. They get demonized. People feel as if they know these people like they know themselves.
Exactly.
And these people don't have the right to do absolutely nothing. Rather, whoever is in high power. But then there's pastors. They get nailed to the cross 15 times more than Jesus got nailed to the cross, okay? Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, we don't know, but all we know is that they will get nailed in the cross. They don't have the right to do anything, absolutely nothing. But after they're done being nailed in that cross, or after they're done being put in whatever positions that the world puts them in, and you have this man now, not a pastor, just your husband, come home, how do you pick up those pieces? Because that pastor mentor, it gets taken off whenever we get to the front door. Whenever we walk into the house, we're papa, we are husband, we are friend, we are brother. And he's been beaten, he's been trampled on. What do you do? How do you tell him to go do it again? How do you tell him to go back out there again? How do you work that magic? And I'll start with you, Mamina.
That's a good question. So, what I would say is people need to understand the pastor is a man before being a man of God. I think there's a reason why that preposition is there, of God, meaning it's not God's. So he can make a mistake. Anything can happen. Even sometimes they don't do anything, but people just butcher them. As a pastor wife, I'm not gonna be the one throwing the stone because I'm not perfect either. So all I can do is just be by himself, by his side. Try to help him out. Try to understand what really happened. Sit down and talk and pray together. Show him that I'm not here to crush you down. I'm here to help you. I'm here to be with you. You know, I'm here to be with you and help you no matter what is gonna happen in the future.
Is it easy for you to tell them to go back out again, love them again, go preach again, go pray for them again, go be what God called you to be? Or sometimes you feel like, dude, just quit. Let's take a vacation. Let's move to Hawaii, turn off our cell phones.
That sounds pretty good.
You know? Let's take our kids, go to Alaska, live in an igloo. Like, what do you do, Yejna? How do you tell them to go back out there again? Go be a pastor again. It's amazing.
It's funny. Sometimes you will feel like doing like, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Like you just said, let's take a break, let's quit. But quand tu sais que son cœur est attaché à ce qu'il fait, tout ce que tu peux faire en tant que femme, c'est de supporter. Tout ce que tu peux faire, c'est de lui donner une oreille attentive, l'écouter. C'est pas maintenant le temps pour toi, en tant que femme, de commencer à poser les questions, de vouloir savoir qu'est-ce qui s'est passé, mais tu l'écoutes et tu lui fais comprendre, comme maman a dit tout à l'heure, là, que ce n'est pas la fin du monde. Ce n'est pas une raison pour arrêter, mais quand au temps où l'action s'est posée, au temps où la situation s'est passée, it's not the time to try to find solution. It's the time for you just to listen and give him time to hear at the right time, because he's doing the work of God anyway. So God sent him. When the time will come for him to go back, he will go back. But my job is not to let him know, when to go, when not to go, but just to hear. Take time, hear, Take time to digest what just happened. Let go. Like my pastor say, c'est là.
C'est la pause.
C'est là.
Pause. Take a
Wow.
pause.
Take a pause
pause.
and breathe.
So, Yejna, that's I love what you said because I was so excited about what was burning up in my heart, and I'm gonna ask you this question on something. So then you become his pastor.
Yeah, I think so.
So then you take the role that he does for everybody else.
What I'll say is that it's understanding that you are his wife, his wife, his partner. And that my job, like the example you gave earlier is so true because sometimes what people say outside is the truth, because like she said, they're not perfect. They're human beings, like any other human here on earth. And then sometimes what people say is just wrong. They just don't know the person and they just say what they want to, they feel like saying. And it's sad, But my role during that time is to support him, to be that support.
So you were the wife, you were the spiritual mother, you were the mother in your own home, the friend, the sister, but then the pastor also needs a pastor. So because he cannot go confide in just anybody out there, he has to come back so you can be his pastor. Is that difficult, Pastor Nake, to become a pastor for your husband?
I don't think it's difficult. I think if I can say is emphasize that before things happen, it's very important to create a safe place at home.
Yes.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, it's what's at home that will fuel what he does outside. So it's not difficult because it should be. That's how it should be. That's how I feel. I feel like that's how it should be. So it's not just because whenever there is trouble that you become the pastor. I think a healthy home, you pastoring each other.
That's true.
That's a healthy home.
Right.
Yeah, it's difficult to accomplish, but it is. That should be the picture of a healthy home where there is well balanced. That whenever you come in the house, there's no church, there's no people. It's the both of you with Jesus.
Yes.
So if your home is healthy like that, I feel like it doesn't matter what people say out there, whether it's true or not true. If at home there is that partnership, there is that comfort, then I think you'll be okay. Yeah. So, but the problem is whenever the home as well is trouble, then that's just
because a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to take in.
It is.
It's just not like us who just gosh, my husband's just a businessman. That's what he does, and we have our own little private home, and whatever happened in our home is private. But being that the roles that you guys have, that front chair that you sit at, your life is most likely like on the big screen TV. Everybody has an opinion to give. Everybody has judgment to place. Everybody has love to give because it's not always judgment. There's people who love you guys. There's people who go above and beyond. And let's talk about that first before we take our last break. How do you feel about the love that you receive? From some people, you just ask yourself, man, why did God? Because there's those people who love their pastor's wife, who loves their pastor. It doesn't matter what comes. What are your reaction for those type of people? How do you embrace them? How do you cultivate that? How do you help that to continue to grow? Because those are difficult to find. But before you answer this question, we're going to take our last break and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back, season 3, In Between. I'm still here with these wonderful pastor's wife. We're just having a regular conversation at home, and we were talking about where we left off, the people that are there for you guys, the people that love you guys, the people that cater to a lot of the things you guys need. And you just ask yourself, like, what did I do to deserve this? Or is it the reactions like, wow, please stay, don't go. And sometimes these people even have to move on with their lives, and you have to get different people that comes around. How do you deal with those crowds? How do you deal with those people who just like, God, what did I do to deserve this? Because there's the good and then there's the bad, but there's those people who are just extraordinary. Like me. No, just kidding.
Are you talking about the people that love you?
Yes.
And okay.
Support you.
And support you.
Personnellement, je suis reconnaissante parce que c'est tellement difficile de trouver ce genre de personnes-là qui sont là pour toi. Généralement, les gens sont prêts à te juger, les gens sont prêts à comme tu as dit, t'ignorer. Et donc, quand tu trouves quelqu'un qui t'aime d'un amour vraiment sincère, qui est là pour toi, qui ne te juge pas, tu es reconnaissant. Tu apprécies cette personne-là et you want to give it back too, tu vois. Donc, moi, personnellement, je suis reconnaissante et je dis merci à Dieu.
Does that allow you, Mamelan, to continue for those people? Because in a basket of raisins, there's good raisins and there's really bad raisins in the bottom that like to spoil the other raisins. But do those people give you a reason to want to continue church, to want to continue ministry, to want to continue doing these kind of things?
Comme on le dit, tu peux les appeler ma raison de vivre. Moi, c'est ce que je dirais parce que je crois personnellement que quand tu es aimé, quand tu te sens aimé, tu as envie de donner plus d'amour. Et le fait que je vois et je sente que un membre, comme maman Gina a dit tout à l'heure, sometimes it's hard to find someone who really loves you. But when you get that person in your life, you feel like doing more for the person. You want to intercede more. You take that person as your better half now. So basically, when you pray, you want to pray double for this person to be blessed to the point. And me personally, I like to give gifts. So when I feel like you love me really much, and I know that I didn't even do any effort to get that love.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say you become like my favorite. So when I do, for example, and stuff like that, we don't. I'm not gonna pretend, you know. I'm gonna just go above and beyond. Because so I will go and buy stuff. If I go do my shopping, I will think about you and I'll be like, oh, this person like this, and I'm gonna buy that for the person. And that's how I will, you know, give back the love that I receive from you. Because it's reciprocal, right? Yeah, they say that whenever somebody's overpoured with love, you feel like giving it back. That's what any human, it goes and it comes back. That goes for everybody. And I understand when you say favoritism, it doesn't mean that you love others more than others. It's just that this person, I need to be able to, it's a sign of gratefulness, the bond that it builds for those people who kind of love you. You want to be able to love them back and be able to give them back whatever they, but does it come to a time you're like, we don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. So my husband doesn't deserve it. Or the church doesn't deserve these type of, have you ever felt that way, Pastor Nike? Like, man, I don't deserve this person.
Yeah. For me, it's a little bit different. I always felt like that. And God had to teach me to actually take it. So my story is a little bit different here. So I will always be like, no, I really never felt like I would, you know, let me be there for you. You don't have to be there for me. So for me, God had to teach me to actually take it. Yeah.
And accept the love.
And accept the love. This person actually doesn't need you. They just love you. So for me, I had to really switch that in my mind, because for the longest I was used to, when somebody comes towards me, you know, I will wait for the question. I'll wait for the prayer request. I'll wait. So I got wired, or I was expecting every relationship to turn to that. So for me, it's a little bit different. God had to teach me that, no, I'm sending this person to really be there for you. You know, so for me, I had to learn that. Yeah.
Speaking of that, Pastor Nike, this brings me to my question. I know we're running short in time, but I have to ask this. How did you guys deal with your insecurities? Because I like how you said that. You said that you were used to like, oh, wait, no, I don't know. But then God had to teach you. How did you guys deal with your own flaws, your own insecurity? Because you're put to deal with everybody. So we expect you to be perfect. We expect you to be flawless. But what were some of the things that you had to do that you know that I was flawed? You know, I have this insecurity. I am a little bit flawed. I have this issue, or I have this anger problem, or I have this eager to just want to act out, or I don't want to share, or I don't want to be there, or I'm tired, or I don't want to cook today. I don't want to. How did you deal with your own insecurities?
I think personally, the first thing I did, I had to admit they were there. Because I think whenever you try to hide them and you keep them inside, you don't deal with them. That's how you hear someone blows and and acts up in public. Yeah. So you have to first know where you are insecure or where are your fears. So when you look at your fears, then you start working on them. And for me, I would say the Holy Spirit. I mean, I know it sounds cliche.
No, but it is.
But the truth is, the Bible said that the Holy Spirit will teach you all things. So, and in our position, it's sometimes very difficult to open up also. You can't just open up to anyone about your insecurities and your weakness, because some people may use it against you, right? So God will send people that will be there for you and that will love you for who you are, and they can help you as well to kind of maybe be free from your fears and accept who you are. But I will say the Holy Spirit. So I go to the Holy Spirit and I say, Father, you know how I feel about this. You know how I am about this. Please help me. And I promise you, it works. You know, sometimes I find myself in a situation where, like you say, you're standing there, and then somebody says something. The old Nike, I can hear her in my head. Like, I can feel her rise. I mean, she's rising from the ankle. She's like right there. But something will just tame her. Something will just stop her. And before I know, I'm smiling at the person. The person now is confused. Why is she smiling at me? She should be mad. So it really works. The Holy Spirit, it really works when you come to Him and say, okay, this is who I am, you know? Another thing also, maybe your spouse. If you've been able to build that healthy relationship, both should be naked with each other. So if he knows your weaknesses, then he should help you kind of balance that, and vice versa. You know, there's that. But I will say, I think as women, we have to resist to pretend that we are perfect and that we don't have any flaws, because that's not true. And what I've noticed is that sometimes God will even use your flaws to be a blessing for someone else. So you hiding this fear, thinking, oh, I don't want them to see that I'm afraid, not knowing that if they know you're afraid, but that they still see God use you, that's actually powerful.
Right. That's
you know what I mean?
That's
so we
right.
hide those flaws, but actually those flaws, I love it. When Jesus was resurrected, there is still the holes in his hands.
Yes.
It's true.
You know, in his glorious body, there is still the sign of the crucifixion. So I think we need to kind of understand that, some flaws has to be private, for sure. But there are other flaws that the Lord may allow you to be vulnerable with and can use to actually help someone else.
Do you ever feel as if, Sandrine, that people just, I'm not perfect. Yes, give me a break. Like, just, you just look at someone like, dude, I am not perfect. Give me a break. It could be in church. It could be at work. It could be at home. Like, when you see a pastor's wife, we're like, whoa, you can't twist your hair. You cannot wear skinny jeans. You cannot wear torn jeans. You can't do anything, right? But haven't you ever walked into, one day you just walked into church, I'm like, give me a break. I'm human. Have you ever wanted to just say it out loud to somebody?
I'll say yes and no, but my story is a little bit different in that area, you know. I'm the type of person, even before getting married, you know, I was ready to sacrifice my life for other people, meaning that, you know, when I go somewhere, if I feel like the mood is this way here, I'll just try to adapt myself with the environment.
Part of the flow.
Yeah, you know, I'll try to flow with what's going on, you know. And I remember, funny story, when I got married, you know, and then I got married very young, you know, and then we moved to North Carolina, where my husband was supposed to be a senior pastor. And when we got there, when I got married, I had 2 piercing here.
In your ears.
Yeah, both ears. I still have them, you know. But I was 21, I think, when we moved there with 1 baby, you know, first lady. And everybody was older than me. Everybody. The entire church was older than me. And, you know, they start judging me, you know, why she's pastor's wife, you know, plus Congolese, you know, African, you can't, you know. I had short hair. And one thing I did personally, just because, again, going back to your first question, is understanding my purpose, that I'm here to help those people. You know, if there's something that's not that important to me, I'd rather just remove it so I can be that vessel, that blessing, you know. I'll do that. But again, there's things that, I'm sorry.
But most of the don't you feel as if, like, yes, no, I asked you this 1 million, don't you feel as if that people are trying to tailor you guys to what a pastor's wife should be? It's as if people have an image. Now I have to put my card down for this one, because this time I got to explain. When you think pastor's wife, you think like the big vests here to here, you know, the big old hat with the long skirts. We don't think pastor's wife with the nice blonde hair, you know, Amelia, with the big jewelry. When we see you like this, we're like, oh, she's too much. Or even people think like, maybe she's using the offering money to get the hair. You know, I'm just saying. Because we got you tailored to what, is it okay to just be you? I like Amelia, I know you're very stylish. You like to dress well. It's not because you became a pastor wife that you have to curve it, right?
So I believe that being a pastor wife, you don't need to have a style, a specific style. I truly think that the big hat, big jacket that you see on the movies usually is what people want to dress like. I believe that you have to be yourself. You have to be comfortable within yourself. Of course, you don't want to shock the audience. You don't want to shock your people.
Yes.
You just want to look nice. And I truly believe that once you're comfortable within yourself and you're not too edgy by the way you dress and everything, it will be better. It will be fine. You don't need to, to follow a certain path. Let me take the example of Michelle Obama.
Oh yes.
When she became a first lady, people were shocked to see her wearing
short sleeves. Yeah, she kept her style.
And we saw Jackie Kennedy and other women wearing jacket and be kind of proper. She came with her style. It didn't. I mean, people were before shocked a little bit, but they got used to it.
That's it.
And I truly believe that you have to be yourself.
Yes.
You don't need to look like we're not in school where we have to wear a certain outfit, uniform to become a pastor wife. I believe that as a pastor wife, you have to dress not to shock the audience, but you have to dress the way you feel comfortable.
I like that.
But don't follow.
I want to add something else. So you have your own style. You dress properly, of course, but you have your own style. I want to talk about your personal lives as well, what you do. All of you guys here, actually, you work. You have jobs. You wake up in the morning and you go to work. So for some people, they feel as if that you guys don't do nothing. You just at home. No, I'm just telling you guys it. I'm just bringing the questions. Because Maman, you work. Maman Regine, you work. Pastor Ake, you work. Maman Samedi, I'm sitting here with you. You actually, after this interview, you have to go to work. And because you have to take care of also of your family and the things that you do. So what advice, and this will be me concluding because I don't have much time, which I would love to invite you guys back because I have some juicy questions for the next time we have this show. and you have jobs, you're all educated, you all went to school, you did something with your lives. And I want to conclude with this, and I'm so glad you guys came to my platform. I wanted to have just this conversation to kind of warm up to see what it's like, just to hear your side of the story. And then I would love to have you guys come back again, maybe on season 4, where we'll go in depth about more questions, where we get more comfortable.
Sure.
But I wanted you guys to speak to that young woman or that young man, okay, who's inspiring to become a man of God, the young woman who's with a future man of God, or there's some people who dream about becoming pastor's wife. Although you guys told me that wasn't y'all's dreams, but there's some women, they just want to marry a pastor. Or any woman out there in a high position who's married to a president or future not dictator, but future prime minister, a man in power. What will you tell both of them? You speak to the man and you speak to the woman. What will you tell them? And I'll start with you, Mamelian, and we'll take this round this way.
Well, I will tell them, especially the women, because we are pastor wives, do not picture yourself as I am married to a man of God, meaning he has to do everything. So I don't go to school, I just stay home, have babies. I don't believe in that. I believe that if you have the opportunity, because we live in a free country, if you live here and you have the opportunity to go to school and get a degree that can better the ministry in the future, go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter your position, because I have noticed when I went to my country that a lot of pastor wives don't work. They just stay home by choice, or some of them have to quit their job by choice because they want to just be pastor wife. Personally, I think that it's good to be educated. So when, for example, your husband receives people at home, you can entertain a conversation instead of being embarrassed. Go to the kitchen, because you don't even know what they're talking about. I believe that education is a key. We all need to go to school. We all need to have a background that can help us become better, that can even help us in the ministry, not only for our own self, but this education will help us go above and beyond in the ministry. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Amelia. I'm so excited. What will you tell them?
Talking to the man that is aspiring to become a pastor, I would say be faithful to the calling and trust in the one that sent you. Understand also that you are not perfect. Time will come where you will make a mistake. You learn from your mistake and you move forward. You forget all the past and you keep on growing. And to the woman, I'll go back to say, it's a journey. Be patient with yourself and learn as you go. My thing is about learning as you go and not to put too much pressure on yourself. Enjoy the journey and trust in God, because He sent you, He will equip you.
Like that. I like how you said, to the men, be faithful to the calling and understand that you're human. That is good. Pastor Naki, what will you tell to both of them, man or woman, whoever you choose? What would be your message to them?
To a man out there who wants to, was inspired to become a man of God or serve God, I would encourage you to, if you are married or if you are inspiring or becoming married, you have to take care of your house, because there will be a time where you will have to find a place where you can be supported. There will be a time where maybe everybody outside may not be able to understand the calling of God in your life. So it will be healthy for you to actually have a place where you can come back to and have a woman who supports you and children who are there as a belt for you. So that's really one thing that I think most young men of God don't think about as they enter ministry. But as you get older, you realize that the health of your home is key.
Yes.
Amen.
It's key in so many ways. We don't have time for that, but it's really key.
No, we gotta come back.
to the young woman out there, before you even think about being married or even being married to a man of God, please love God first.
Yes, ma'am.
Be in love with Jesus. Trying to find out who God is for you. Because as you discover who God is for you, then God starts to unveil or who you are. Okay? It's so crucial because if you enter marriage and then you enter ministry not knowing who you are, it's not impossible, but it's harder.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're not married yet and you don't have a man of God yet, but you're just wishing for those things, please take time to discover who is it that God has called you to be. Who is it that God has, what the problem you're supposed to resolve? Why you're here? When you have discovered those things and you've understood those things and you accept where you are and who you are, then whenever a man of God comes in or a marriage comes in, things will be a little bit smoother. Whether people accept you or not, you will not move because you know who you are. Whether things start going bad, you will not move because God has revealed to you prior all that, the purpose that He has for you. So please, I insist, especially for all my single ladies out there, please take the time to really discover who you are in God and love yourself.
Yes.
Love yourself. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. So you cannot love anyone if you don't know who you are.
Yes.
So take time to discover who you are and love yourself before you move on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is powerful. Mama Sandrine, what message would you tell them?
Can I say it in French?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody
Yes,
say
go
it in
ahead.
English, you know, just to help
Yes.
those who watch. Okay. J'aimerais dire à quelqu'un, que tu sois un jeune homme ou une jeune dame, ou encore un monsieur, une madame, un papa, une maman, ce débat était vraiment un débat très béni, mais j'aimerais d'abord que tu saches que avoir une relation avec Dieu est très importante. Parce que c'est quand on a cette relation avec Dieu qu'on comprend même qui on est. Parce que c'est très important. Sinon, quand on comprend pas qui on est, on se marie mal, on va mal à l'école, on fait des mauvais choix pour le boulot, et on est malheureux même quand on a l'argent. Même quand on a une femme, on a un château, mais on est malheureux. Il y a des gens qui sont ici dans les États-Unis où nous vivons, qui ont des grandes voitures, qui ont des grandes maisons, mais quand on voit le taux de suicide très élevé, c'est juste pour nous dire que l'argent ne répond pas à ces choses. Le matériel ne donne pas le bonheur, mais c'est Dieu. Quand tu as Dieu, ça veut dire que lui, il est l'auteur de toutes choses. Et c'est lui qui a le manuel. Il connaît l'histoire de notre vie de A à Z. Donc, connecte-toi à Dieu. Parce que quand tu te connectes à Dieu, tu comprends la raison pour laquelle tu es ici sur Terre et c'est très important. Tu dois connaître pourquoi tu es ici avant même de te marier. N'attends pas de te marier, ma sœur. N'attends pas de te marier pour commencer à découvrir ces choses parce que sinon, les crises du mariage vont te faire réfléchir sur ces questions-là et ça sera peut-être trop tard. Là, ta tête va déjà commencer à tourner et c'est chaos. Let me just stop there because I can't go on and on. Mais vraiment, accroche-toi à Dieu et découvre quelle est ton identité. Pourquoi tu es sur cette terre? Donc, tu ne sais pas comment. Cherche grâce. You have churches. If you don't have a church, you're more than welcome to come in one of our churches. God bless you.
God bless you. Man, this was amazing. So this means we have to have a second one. It's so much. I wanted them to get to know you guys. I wanted them to kind of see an aspect of where you guys come from. But I honestly believe, I will talk with my producer, we need to have a second one. I'll probably give it a stretch out a couple of months, do something during the summer where we just pick that know who you are identity and we talk about it. Enough about you guys. We get who you are. You just said who you are. Any other questions? Go visit them at their churches. They will tell you about it. But I think it's time that we have this talk to women. Know who you are. And I think this platform will be amazing. I would love to have you guys come back. And I want you to be there with me. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. No, thank you so much, my mama. Thank you guys. You've heard it yourself. I thought this was amazing. I would like for you guys to make sure you write comments. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let them know that they need to come back so we can have another show and discuss more about knowing who you are before you decide to get married. That was very deep. Make sure you're educated so you can be able to continue and live in society. Make sure you know that the journey takes time. Make sure you know how to walk with God. All of this was amazing. I'm so glad to have you guys here with me. We just started season 3. It's getting interesting. Thank you guys for being with us. I am your host, Grace Kipasa. See you next time on In Between.
Thank you.